I was sent this video that you're watching right now by one of our subscribers, Steven. So thanks, Steven, for sending this. He wanted me to take a look at this golf swing, look at the cause and effect. It's based on a guy, the Swingman. His name is Jeremy Nowak. And when I first saw this swing, I thought to myself, man, that looks like a baseball swing. And lo and behold, when I went to his YouTube channel, started scrolling around, I saw a bunch of baseball swings. So I did a little research on this gentleman. He's actually a former professional baseball player, drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in 2010, and he's from Buffalo, New York. And then after baseball, he decided to pivot in the world long drive golf, branding himself as the Swingman. So today we're going to take a look at his cause and effect, look at how this swing works. It is a very unique swing, a lot of great things that he does do. I've always said this, that the golf swing and baseball swing are very similar. I actually did a video on this a couple of years ago. It's on my channel somewhere. Just type baseball and you'll probably find it. The only difference, obviously, is the sports plane. Baseball is pitched up here, golf, we're down there. But other than that, it's pretty identical, and I'm great to bring this to the show to help you understand a little bit more about the golf swing so you can look at your swing. But don't try this swing, please, because Mrs. Havenkamp, even though she has an extra bed next to her in the geriatric camp, we don't need anybody with a broken hip line next to her. She's bad news. Well, let's get going. So in my opinion, Jeremy has a swing that perfectly blends baseball power with some golf mechanics, and it's a move that can be explosive, athletic, and designed purely for distance. So using his baseball background, which gives him access to this elite sequencing and rotational speed, this can be great for generating effortless power. But for you and I, or the average golfer watching this without that background, his motion can and probably will be risky and require a lot of timing, a lot of flexibility, and coordination, which most players do not train for. But what makes his swing impressive is also what makes it hard to copy, because it prioritizes speed and impact over control and consistency, as we can see in the footwork and other motions. So for golfers chasing distance, there are lessons to learn from the swing, but without his athletic base, it's easy to lose accuracy and rhythm. So don't try this unless you're ready to accept loss of accuracy. But his swing is a great example of how blending sports can create potential power, and incredible power in this case, but also how style without context can lead to chaos for the everyday player. So let's break him down. This swing first, because this was actually a normal looking swing, and he's using a lag shot trainer, which is a pretty whippy shafted club. So I think this is probably part of his warm-up routine, but we're going to draw some basic lines just to see. And this swing, when I watch it, looks just like any normal long drive swing. We're going to see a couple of things that most of these guys share with each other. Number one is we're definitely starting to stand up more as we're starting to lose our shoulder tilt up and away from our initial spine angle. This helps with rotation. We see a great hand connection with the center of the chest. The hips are closing up, the shoulders are closing up as we're turning back, and this is all to promote length of swing. Because we've lost our shoulder tilt, you can see how his hands are working towards leveling out related to the shoulder tilt, but we will raise our hands up to get him to go further back. So this is what those guys and girls do so well. They're able to turn so much, plus disconnect their hands from this point to here to get that club way back behind. We see that flying right elbow. We also see this left foot coming on up, and again, that's to release the hips and the shoulders to turn as much as they can. But the same thing is happening on the way down that we see most other people that hit the ball a mile, as we see that left foot will plant, and then our body will drop down, which will pull our hands back down to that lower plane line. We see it's right on plane. We're going to see the club is going to veer down below, which means he's swinging out to the right and also increasing that launch angle. And then we'll also see the spine kind of stand up a little bit. That's to help the path even further right. But one thing we don't really see is look at that left foot. The left foot at this point for most really long drivers is already pulling away. It's moving back, but we see it's planted here pretty well. So this, I believe, is just a warm-up swing for him, just to get him to feel. But watch the right hand. The right hand's really going to roll over, so we know that there's not a lot of rotation, and that's due to that left foot staying on the ground. Usually the long driving guys and girls at this point, that left foot is flaring open because we are moving so much, tilting and turning, which gets our hand speed to pick up and not rely on this releasing. We see those hands really releasing here, and this will also create some timing issue. But there goes that left foot now. So this is a warm-up swing, I believe. But let's take take a look at a real swing. So now we're in the competition swing. Let's bring up Barney Purple. What we can see right now is a more upright spine angle. Now this will definitely help him get that turn right away. He doesn't have to come out of his posture. Now, it's going to be hard for people to set up like this because that's going to mess with your hand position. So he's just starting it with the club already hinged and ready to go. Now I'm going to put a little circle. We're going to do this in Ivan Red. We're going to put a circle around that right foot because he's going to watch that right foot throughout the entire swing, and it's going to act like an anchor. So as we keep moving back, we can see he's waggling a little bit. Now this is a key thing. He's picking up that left leg, and we know all the weight has to be on that right foot or else he's going to be falling over. So this is a good transition. We get that turn. That left leg is acting like a pendulum. It's acting like a child swing. So we know everything is on that left side. That looks very pitcher-like. It looks like he's going to throw a ball very hard, which is great, but look at how much stress that right knee must have to have your foot stuck while your whole upper body and lower body is rotating around it. So this is why you probably shouldn't try this unless you're young and strong. So we see a full body turn facing us, even more so as you get back to here. So this is a big wind up. We see now that the hands and arms are still out in front of the chest. They haven't worked their way back like we saw previously where the club is back here. As we see that left leg transitioning over, we also see the hands pulling back. So this is where some X factor stretch is occurring. The hips are opening up at this point while the weight transfer is going, and the upper body's falling back. So he's getting a huge amount of elasticity right in this region, and that's going to wind him up to come on down through. He still goes back. We see the transition happen here. That right foot is still going to be anchored. Left foot will plant, and this is pretty interesting too, that the left foot plants closed. So you take a look at that planting line. Now this again will help him get some tension in that hips. Now if he were to get that left foot to plant here, this would definitely open him up more, and that might create some issues because if he's opening up more, that plane and path might be too steep, which will cause him to come back around here, which is very, very hard because high hands always win long drive competition. So this helps him keep those high hands because he is still providing room where everything's facing right to drop in on that alignment. So we coming on through, there goes the drop because it's on the alignment now, and look at that right foot. The right foot is still going to be planted. Now we're leaning back and we're striking it, and we're still in that original spine angle. So we haven't gone forward or back up, but the amount of timing it must take to pull this off is pretty impressive. And we come on through, we see those hands are still pretty quick. Now when we see those hands being quick, you take a look at the way he plants his feet, aiming to the right. Those hands do have to work harder because he can't quite rotate his body enough. If you take a look at this position here and a more common long drive striker, that left foot again would be back over here and the body would have opened up more, resulting in not so much hand release at impact or past impact. But because the alignment of where he planted his feet is out this way, his hands really do have to rely on releasing again. And this is timing oriented, so he has to have really good hand-eye coordination coming on through. Now the left leg will spin out because his body had so much torque built up and rotated through that it just pulls him off that left foot. Is this a wrong way to swing? Not at all, because his goal is to hit this thing as hard as he can. Now how effective is it? Is it a golf swing that you can take on the golf course and be routine? Depends on your timing. This is not a swing to go out and try and score the lowest runs you've ever done, just because I think it is a pretty erratic motion, but it's designed strictly to get the club speed up, the ball speed up, and just pound the golf ball. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you try and swing this way, or would you just enjoy watching it like I am? Hope that helps you prepare with the greens.